Okay, we all wanted, all my colleagues here wanted that, okay, after the World Cup final, there was one day that we were all looking forward to, and that was a test match. First day of the Boxing Day test match between India and South Africa, we all felt, yes, finally, there is something to look forward to. But trust Mother Nature, trust the elements of nature to put a total dampener to that because the toss in the India versus South Africa encounter in Centurion has been delayed due to a wet outfield, and it was pouring yesterday. That's why India had to cancel the practice session, and the press conference was held at the Santon Hotel in Johannesburg. So that's the problem. And now the weather forecast for today and tomorrow is not looking good. There is a 60% chance of rain. Everybody is saying, you said 60%, right? 5 p.m. local onwards, which is last session. But there is a 90% chance of rain in the afternoon period.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't change much tomorrow because I think the figures for tomorrow read 88%.
88%. The same thing. The same problem. And that's why it's like a very frustrating thing for 2 days, which is why I had said, if you want a winner in this test match, it's going to be very difficult. Either you ensure that, okay, there's a collapse, or this test match peters out to a draw in that sense. So that's why, look, when we also welcome back Shane after a long break of 10 days.
Seems long to you.
It was. So many things that happened. We had to do the year-enders, we had the auction, there was a 3 ODIs, there was a WFI suspension. Isn't that long enough?
I was entirely switched off.
Yeah, it's needed.
No idea. Actually, not to say I have no idea. I mean, you do get, of course, a lot of people from a lot of our family members also do reach out asking, where have you been? Or they'll see my stories on Instagram and be like, oh, enjoy this, that. So, and some people also send you things. So it's not like I was entirely switched off by my own choice also. I was tuning in and out of the IPL auction, long thing, and where we were, it was a bit of a road trip. So I was just constantly looking, but yeah, nice little break. Christmas is done. Nice to be back. Although this rain was a bad dampener.
Since the IPL auction's been mentioned and we didn't have Shane that day, and we've got plenty of time today because we don't see cricketing action resume.
By the way,
I know what you're going to ask me about.
So your thoughts, Shane, on the question that that I have on my mind.
Mitchell Stark?
Yes.
See, I knew they were going to go for him. 20, that much money though? Christ.
But are you going to support KKR because Schlod is back with CSK?
Good for him. I mean, I like the guy as a player. I think CSK did good business in that regard to get him for that money.
But I think I'll have to pop some pressure pills or something in that sense, blood pressure pills.
Imagine him and Tushar Deshpande bowling together.
And Deepak Chair. But we won an IPL title with them in 2021.
But Deepak Chair, he's not that expensive for the most part. And even if he is expensive...
Unless he's bowling at the death.
Yeah, at the death he is expensive. But Tushar Deshpande and Shardul Thakur, I remember at one point CSK were also going for Pat Cummins. I'm like, what exactly is the plan here? Do you want bowlers like economy be damned? Is that the process here? Because otherwise though, I think... See, I also did think of it. I'm like, that's a lot of money. But then I realized next year's a mega auction. Yeah. So it pretty much resets anyway. You had the money. You knew your main concern was you needed an experienced pacer.
Yeah.
So actually they've done pretty well in the pace department. I was impressed because they got him and Chetan Sagaria.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's good business. They also got that Saqib Hussain, young guy.
Yeah.
It would be pronounced Saqib only. So,
but you got Narayan, you got Chakravarti, you got Suyash, and they got one more spinner if I'm not mistaken.
Mujib for 2 CR, yeah.
Although Mujib, there's a bit of a doubt because apparently he's him
opted out of a central contract.
So they've been wanting to opt out of a central contract. Him, Naveen, and Fazal Faruqi. There's a talk. I'll do a separate video on that later on when I get the time.
Yeah.
Is that they've been denied their NOCs, could be denied their NOCs for playing in any leagues because they've been wanting to opt out of the contract system. So they were like, no, there's a bit of this thing there. But actually, not bad business overall. I still think the batting can be a bit hit or miss. And they were, I expected maybe they'd go for some big overseas batter. That didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But otherwise, beyond that, I'm okay with the business done because I think they've reset a lot. Like a lot. I mean, if you look at the bowling lineup now, you're going to be reliant very heavily on Stark. You're expecting stuff from the likes of Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora, both of whom did very well in the second half of last year. Yeah. Although I will say, you're talking about Stark. I want to know what the hell was going on at RCB's table.
Nikhil, I don't know why. I mean, he gave
5 crores for Yash Dayal.
11.8 for Alzari.
No, Alzari I still get. I really get Alzari because I was really hopeful that KKR would
2 crore for Lockheed.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. Also, what is it with Alzari and Lockheed always? I mean,
how will you play all of them? Look,
You can't.
I'm telling you one thing. See, RCB have gotten. Okay, Faf and Maxwell will have to start. Green will have to start.
You have to start him. So who's the?
And then one between Loki and
Alzari.
Also, I'm sorry. What are their spinners? Remember, one of those slots was taken up by Vanindu Hasaranga, who for whatever reason they released.
Yeah. So you got a Mayank Dagar.
Yeah, they released Shahbaz as well.
Shahbaz was traded.
Yeah,
Shahbaz was traded to SRH.
Yeah.
So who's the spinner?
Which is
Mayank Dagar, Glenn Maxwell.
And Karan Sharma. Now imagine Glenn Maxwell is your leader of the spin bowling attack. That's
and imagine Rinku Singh hit Yash Dayal for 5 sixes on a bigger Narendra Modi Stadium ground. This is Chinnaswamy. He's going to feast on him.
I won't read too much into Yash Dayal because maybe again there are scouts out there, the professionals out there. They must have seen something in Dayal that we haven't seen over the last 1 year. Maybe there is. So let's just give them the benefit of doubt. But again, overall business and Karan Sharma.
Look,
again, I mean no disrespect to him, but it doesn't. For somebody like a Hasaranga who was the leader of the attack then, for firstly him to be released was a big shocker. Then the fact that you didn't bid for him and you stuck with just Karan Sharma, so
I don't know.
Serious
doubts over RCB scouts, I'm telling you.
See, I don't understand their strategy.
They may win with the kind of batting that they have, which they will need to click all over again, especially right up top. They will struggle going away from home, I feel.
The bowling just doesn't inspire that much. Because again, what was really surprising, they released Hazelwood. And he went unsold.
Yeah, he had to go unsold because he was not going to be available until the first week of May.
But I think they would have gone for. I totally expected them to go for someone like Wokes. I'm very surprised they didn't.
Punjab Kings went for Wokes and he's there now.
I mean, I don't understand even Punjab Kings, a lot of their business. SRH, by the way.
He is the messiah. Punjab Kings are the messiah for all those 20 lakh guys who got picked at the last moment. Every 20 lakh guy got picked up by PBKs.
You're getting picked up. We're all getting picked up.
No man. And what was the other thing that you?
Other thing
SRH was
SRH. I mean, see, they stunned everyone by paying that much money for Pat Cummins. I don't know what is it with that guy in mini auctions. I mean, I'm a big fan of the guy.
15.5 crores.
15.5 KKR stumped up for him. Now 20 odd crores here, which only Mitchell Stark of all people, and that to KKR, had to go out there and break it. I don't understand. Okay, I do get it. Yeah, if you're
Markram will not be the captain.
That's weird. Also, again, of all the formats, I think T20I is Pat's weakest format.
Yeah, it is.
So, I don't understand that.
But he's been part of a T20I World Cup winning team.
Yeah, but he wasn't the captain.
He was the captain. Finch was the captain. But again, remember, you'll have to start with Klaasen. You have to start with head.
Markram.
You have to start. No, Markram will not feature.
No, yeah, exactly. Because then you got.
Actually, yeah, what the
Because see, you'll start with head. You have to start with head.
Yeah, you paid a lot of money for him. You have
6.8, but then you had to have a good opening.
Yeah,
head will be that opener.
Because otherwise you had what
Mayank Agarwal and Abhishek Sharma.
So Abhishek Sharma is still
he will start.
So I think Abhishek and head. That's a good.
Okay. Then you will have to play Klaasen. Rahul Tripathi will be at 3. You'll have to play Klaasen. Then you have to play Cummins. You have to play Hasaranga. Where does Glenn Phillips and Aiden Markram start?
Actually, they don't. You're right.
They don't start. And there is also a toss-up. If you play Hasaranga, you can't play Fazal Haq Farooqi.
You can't play Fazal Haq, that's right.
Yeah.
So actually, a lot of these teams, more questions than answers. With KKR, I knew one thing. 2 things they would go for. One was a backup all-rounder for a Narayan. Yeah. I expected them to go for a backup all-rounder for Russell. That surprisingly didn't turn up. But so they got Mujib in that regard, who can maybe tonk a couple.
But as a batter,
no, as a batter, he's okay. I'm not saying he's great, but then even Narayan in the IPL has been okay.
See, you got Gurbaz and Jeshon to open, isn't it?
Yeah, that's your opener.
Iyer will be at 3. And number 4 will be Venkatesh or
Nitish, Venkatesh, those are your batters. Because again, Venkatesh will probably be your impact player. He'll come in as the impact. So your batting there is pretty sorted because you've got Rinku as well. Lower down the order, you've got Russell Narayan. Potentially. Yeah, that's pretty much your lineup.
They needed a fast bowler, and I think that was something that everyone in the auction room knew that KKR are going
That's
to
why
be in for a fast
GT
bowler.
and them also went so back and forth, because even GT, they knew they needed one pacer because they let go of Alzari. Same with KKR, they needed an experienced pacer, so I knew it was either going to be him or Cummins. When Cummins was gone, I'm like, they have to go for Stark. Otherwise, it's no one, because you're not going back for Lockheed having released him.
Imagine 8 years later, you're going to play in the IPL. You come up with a check of 24.75 crores.
I mean, absence does make the heart grow fonder.
And what is the thing? Per ball, he will earn $7,000.
6,000 USD.
6,000 USD for one ball.
Madness.
6,000 USD. That's crazy money.
It's really crazy money. So that's why.
But that's the thing. That's what mini auctions do to you. And especially the year before. Because next year all of this is going to reset because you're going to be doing mega auction.
Yep.
Assuming you're doing the mega auction.
And I doubt, let's say somebody like a Stark, regardless of the kind of year that he has, I don't think he's getting retained for that price tag because again, that is a quarter of your budget.
No, you can't. No, because they give you a limit. That one player gets this much.
So again, you I think highest maximum cap is 15.
So at most you'll keep him for the 15.
Not 15, 17 because Virat was 17.
Right. Jadeja also got 17.
17, Dhoni let, I think the 17, 15, 12 and 8, something like that.
So you're not keeping him for that money anyway. Even if you give him the highest, you're still freeing up a good chunk of money there. So that's why they went so big.
In this entire South Africa playing 11, if you look at, which may be the thing, Mumbai Indians did a very smart buy with Gerald Katsia.
But I again with Mumbai, I think their problem once again is their spin department. I was very surprised they didn't go for either a Rashid or a Hasaranga. Adil Rashid, no, I don't think they have no team.
Again, their overseas slots also again
big problem.
And there's no real
actually, there is not that much of a problem with their overseas.
Overseas, actually you can make their 11 with just 2 overseas. I think it's the balance that you're looking at.
See, because you're...
And they were happy with the services of Piyush Chawla last year. Remember, he was the first highest
he did well.
And you got Kumar Karthikeya also.
Karthikeya also chipped in. So I think they were okay with that. Plus the fact that again, 1KD, how much of a big save will the spinners really have?
No, but a wrist spinner, that's my point. Because again, Karthikeya, despite the fact that they had a lot of faith in him, he barely played last year.
But he did do well.
He was only doing well. He was only played because I think Shokeen was being shocking.
Yeah, Shokeen was shocking indeed. And so that's why it's a big problem. And that's why...
But anyway, switching our focus back to the test match, although we will not know anything really until 1:30 Indian time.
1:30 Indian time. We just are about 14 minutes. But we saw the teams practicing and there was a good warm-up session that was going on at this point. And that's why... So, I don't know, the damn spots. Again, why doesn't South Africa cover the entire pitch? I can understand their drainage system, but why do the Sena countries have such a reticence to covering the entire ground, considering weather is changing every single time? Oh, the sun is out, by the way, and there's a bit of, it's cleared up also. So
also there are apparently dam spots being dried out using a hairdryer. I mean, if we make fun of Indian grounds for doing it, then where's it? The Wanderers is where it's being
This
played?
is in Centurion.
Centurion, I'm sorry, you can't be doing that. Then why not just cover the entire ground if you know those wet patches are going to be a problem?
Learn from Sri Lanka, my friends. They
cover the entire thing.
And when the rain stops, 15-20 minutes is back on. Ganguly himself acknowledged that we saw what was happening in Sri Lanka. Now they cover the entire outfield.
Which is smart. It's very smart.
I know.
We saw that in the Asia Cup, both in Colombo and Palakkale.
But then the problem what happened is in Colombo, that 2-minute burst of rain was so intense.
Which is why you had that whole mark over there, if you remember.
It's like a scar on the outfield's face. That was an ugly scar.
And the second half of the tournament was only being played there, let's be fair. So every match, regardless of the weather conditions, you saw that thing.
And it was that time only, right? When you saw Mohammad Siraj running for his own ball. When he was on a hat trick and the ball went for a boundary.
He was running for his own ball, and that too it was near that dry patch. Exactly. I kept thinking at that point, please don't dive. Do not dive on that patch.
You should have added in your year-end package how we all became weathermen. 2023 was the year when we all turned weathermen.
One for sure.
I know. Oof. I was like...
But actually, weather played hell for a lot of things. If you go back and look, right from IPL final, we became a 2-day final.
Plus ICC, WTC.
WTC, just the last day though, but then the match is done.
First day.
Cloud cover.
We
read too much into the cloud cover. That's on us.
I know.
The weather gods intervened only way after the match had gotten over. That too, a phenomenal sort of a collapse. 7 wickets being lost in the last. This thing and then
and Asia Cup plus India, Australia, even 2 of the matches were impacted by rain. Mohali and Indore.
Correct.
And then World Cup, luckily you didn't have that much of a rain delay.
I mean, there were threats. Remember, I mean, there was a talk about that even in Dharamshala it could be.
But luckily the rains. Was there any game impacted by rain which was washed out? World Cup.
I don't think there were any washed out, not to my memory.
There was a threat to a few games, especially the ones in Bangalore, I remember, and the one in Chennai. I think Australia, Pakistan.
No, Australia Pakistan went off. It was a dry as. I think it was New Zealand, Sri Lanka. Oh no, Pakistan, New Zealand.
Pakistan, New Zealand, yes, because then you're looking at all those permutation combinations and how it would have been advantage Pakistan had that match been drawn.
And Pakistan won that game due to DLS.
DLS. So
400.
Impacted.
Yeah.
So you didn't see a washout, but you saw DLS impacted games.
That fucker Zaman century.
Yeah. Which kept Pakistan alive for a brief moment. But so now looking at it, see, Centurion, looking at the trends in 2010, it rained on the first day. India got all out for 136. I remember it was Steyn and Mockle doing the damage at that point, and also there was one more guy, Lonwabo Sotsobe, who did the damage also, left-hander. Then the pitch eased out, South Africa made 620, India made 459, known for Tendulkar's 50th test century. Then here, if you look at the last trends in Centurion, 17, 18 you batted last, you lost. 21 you batted first under overcast conditions and you won. So looking at the pitch, there was a lot of debate in the morning grab also, like what should happen? Should a team winning the toss?
Who are you debating with?
And he was at home, so you would have been reading the comments.
Comments, nah. Exactly. So there was a lot of debate among our family members. No, you should bat. No, you should bowl. Overcast conditions, 2 days it's been under covers, moisture and all that. What do you guys think? A team winning in Centurion the toss, should they bat or bowl?
I think you should look to bat first.
And
that was my thought even before, but then I was reading the pitch report, and even there it said that best approach looks to be bat first, gut it out in the first 2 sessions, be happy if you've only lost a couple of wickets, because it won't really change too much, but the first part is probably where it'll be most difficult. After that it'll stay steady.
And because this surface can develop cracks, you don't want to be batting 4 over here. You don't want to be batting 4 here. It is a little slow to begin with, and progressively is what I've heard, that the pitch tends to get faster. First couple of days, rather the first couple of hours on day one, going to be very, very tricky. Given this Indian side's inexperience, I would say you're looking at an Indian team in transition. Let's not forget Shubman Gill has not played here. Shreyas Iyer hasn't played here. Yashasvi Jaiswal hasn't played here. So it's going to take some heart for Rohit Sharma to decide to bat first. Given that there's somebody like a KG Rabada over there, who's the highest wicket taker in the last tour.
Then you got a Lungisani
Engiri. But by the way, I'm hearing Sean Pollock had shared that to the broadcaster, that he's got an inkling that Lungi Engiri may not play.
So maybe you'll only open with Rabada and Katsia and Marco Jansen.
Are you Burger?
No, I think you'll then your first range will be
Nandre Burger's not there.
I don't think he's there. I think he's there.
See, I think your first 2 will have to be Rabada.
Take a look at the squad.
Has to be Rabada and Jansen, 110%. With the new ball, if you're not bowling Jansen, no Burger.
There is no Nandre Burger.
There is no Burger.
Yeah, Nandre Burger is just a T20 and white
but
ball
this is the probable 11. Can we have a look at the squad?
I think even
Go down.
Further down, not up, down. Yeah.
See, there is Nandre Burger. There is.
But I think someone like Mulder might just get in.
Vian Mulder. But again,
because he can bat a little more than. But again, Nandre Burger, he was good on a few occasions.
But then 2 left-handers. You already got a Marco.
Jansen, yeah.
So that's the thing. I think your Engidi, is in with a shout. That's what Justice Pollock's opinion, by the way. So if you're going Rabada. And by the way, also he was saying in the pitch report that don't be surprised if South Africa go without a spinner. Which means India will at most go with only 1 spinner, assuming that's the case. In which case, bye-bye R. Ashwin.
We had that discussion.
Oh goodness, we had that.
Our dear friend Sashwat was so hurt about the fact that we are not including Ashwin in our lineup.
For people who are thinking that I am an Ash fan, you're mistaken.
No, we're all Ash fans, I would say.
And Test cricket, I think you should be, but you can't look past
also it's a spinner's graveyard, South Africa. You look at the averages over there. There is not much success. I think the number, if I recall it correctly, is just 16. Only 16.
15 wickets.
16 wickets. 16.
In Centurion or just in overall?
Overall, 16 wickets have been picked by spinners over the last couple of years. 16. So it's a spinner's graveyard. Again, R. Ashwin had some success last time around, but with the bat, I remember he had a strike rate of about 80. But But you're taking Ashwin as a bowler first and then as a batter.
Yeah, although Ngidi is warming up also along with Rabada, so
It could very well be that Ngidi is playing. Because again, he does...
Ngidi's got a fantastic record in Centurion.
And not
He
just,
made his debut here. Six
wickets, got Kohli LBW.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
and the thing with Ngidi is, for all that people troll him for his white ball stats, and to be fair, he does veer on the expensive. When he was even given his debut against India, it was always outlined that he was someone who was seen as a red ball prospect first and foremost. He's someone who does bowl very, very attacking lines, looks to get it to swing at the kind of pace which he has, and of course the bounce which he can generate.
He also faces a bit of a Shardul syndrome, I would say.
In white ball cricket.
In white ball cricket. Touch expensive, but gets you wickets. We saw that happen with CSK when he was playing.
Although I will add Shardul only with the ball.
Nah.
Shardul's a better bat.
Yeah.
Oh, and Test cricket, no two ways about it.
Yeah. Even
in white ball.
Even white ball.
Yeah.
Even white ball.
I mean, he helped you win that one game on his own against RCB. Why
I'll
not?
never forget that.
So, Shardul going to CSK, I thought Shane
He's a
would
definite starter.
He will have to start.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page on that, right?
He will have to start.
Yeah, because they don't have, otherwise there's a lack of balance.
Yeah.
You really need
See,
him to
you'll start with Deepak Chahar, Mukesh Chaudhary to a certain extent, and then Shardul Thakur. Thakur will be a batting option.
What happens to poor Deshpande then?
Deshpande doesn't get a game.
And he turned it around nicely in the second half of last year.
Because, see, the problem is you'll have to play Patirana.
For that matter, the whole squad as a bowling unit, because Tushar Deshpande was the leader of the bowling attack, and I remember first game that they played, they gave us 16 extras, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni was livid with that.
I remember.
Not that things improved drastically. Yes, there was some improvement, but only then for you to see towards the end again they were leaking about 10-11 runs in extras. But only MS would have done that to win an IPL with Tushar Deshpande.
He was on a prayer. He's won an IPL with even Shardul Thakur twice. Twice he won an IPL with him. Come on, that. And he had Thakur and Ngidi. Imagine. He won it despite that. So, this is your 11 for CSK for most of the IPL. I'm telling you, 2024. Conway, Rituraj, Rahane, Daryl Mitchell. You got Dube. Then you will have Jaddu, Dhoni, reverse, 6-7. Dhoni will come at 6, Jadeja at 7.
Whichever way.
Then you've got Shardul at 8. You will have to play Thikshana. You will have to play Deepak Chahar. You will have to play Patirana. That's your 11. That's your 11.
They might actually...
Moin doesn't get a game.
Moin will get a game if they want batting depth.
Who will go out?
Thikshana.
No, they lose out on a power play bowler. They lose out on a death overs bowler.
I agree with you, but I'm saying you'll have to make that call in certain places. If he's not going to get as much assistance, they might not.
They may want to drop Mitchell.
Could actually, Mitchell might be that.
Mitchell might be your floater because
I doubt. I think Mitchell's starting.
No, I don't. He'll start, but I think he's right. He could be the rotation option.
And that too, he may be an impact player also. Who knows? Overseas, if you drop someone, then that overseas can be replaced.
Correct. If you start with 3 overseas players, he could be. They have enough Indian talent to actually.
But I think they can't start with 3 overseas. They'll have to start with 4. That's the problem. Balance will go, na. If you play only 3, then who's the foreigner who can come in?
Conway is a definite starter, so I would like to assume
Patirana and Thikshana.
And Mitchell as well. He starts.
Yeah, actually, Ben Stokes could have been the only person who really nailed that spot down, but he's not here.
I
think Mitchell actually is the only other.
Mitchell. So that's why I don't think, see, these are your 4 overseas you will have to play. That is mostly the change in the Indian thing will come up. Maybe a Rahane might make way for Samir Rizvi if it's a spin friendly condition. That's the only way I look at it. Could be CSK is a graveyard for all the youngsters. Maybe this time Samir Rizvi has hit his luck. 8.4 crores, he can get in. So let's see how it goes. So can you believe it? This is Rohit Sharma's first test as captain in South Africa.
Yeah, because that time after Dhoni quit, it was KL Rahul.
It was Virat and KL Rahul. Virat, as we know, 2017-18 came close but didn't win. 2021-22 will hurt him. He had won a brilliant test in Centurion. No one has ever chased 250 plus in Johannesburg. Your bowlers let you chase.
Yeah.
Cape Town, you had a sudden brain fade and 212 you couldn't defend with Elgar and Keegan Peterson doing the way. And anyway, by the way, this is Dean Elgar's final series.
Yes.
And the last link to that all-conquering South African side from the 2010s.
Actually, yeah.
There is no one else apart from Dean Elgar. Elgar is that last link.
Yeah.
Rabada came in 2013 onwards.
Rabada came later. 2013 onwards. 2013 onwards, So did Temba and the likes.
Yes. So Dean Elgar is the only remaining link. And yeah, you will say an average of 37, doesn't make sense, but you are all forgetting Elgar's grit. Elgar was a gritty player, and the guy responsible for India being denied the final frontier last time around. So
Yeah, I think there were 3 batters who you could pick out who actually did some damage to an extent, not with big runs, but with grit. Elgar, Peterson. Temba.
Temba, yes. Temba in Newlands, revelation he was. So that's why 212 you couldn't defend there. So now, again, unfortunately, this is a 2-test series. If this is a washout or if anything happens here, Cape Town is do or die. Such a short turnaround. I mean, imagine you could only be playing 8 days of test cricket. That's it. Why do you have to play 2? Either play 3 or
maybe 7.
Huh? Oh yeah, baby. 7 days, just a week of test cricket and you'll decide whether the final frontier has been conquered. And by the way, I was just reading one more thing. Actually, if you look at it, this is South Africa's first series in this WTC cycle. They are the only team who have not played. Actually, if you look at it, they have a very favorable cycle. If they win against India, their next away is against West Indies, where they do well. Okay. Then their 2 series, which is at home, is against Pakistan and Sri Lanka. And they have a good record against them also. February.
Though Sri Lanka will have some confidence after 2019.
But the last time they came in 2021, they were hammered 2-0. But in February, they play New Zealand away. I don't know what is their other away series. It's West Indies and New Zealand, I know.
Australia? No?
No, not Australia. I'll have to check. Because see, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and India are their home. If they can somehow overcome India, then they can end up with a PCT of 65 plus, which could put them in contention for the final.
And don't forget that South Africa, one of those test nations that don't play a lot of test cricket. In fact, they play or ensure that they hit the minimum number of targeted tests for that cycle. So we've seen, by the way, even Sri Lanka last time were in contention purely for that reason.
Look, South Africa, out of the 6 tests, I think only 1 series is a 3-test series. Everything else is a 2-test series.
Exactly.
I think a Pakistan series is, I think, 3.
Actually.
I think 15 is the minimum number of tests, right? That you need to play over
No,
a cycle.
no. It's not necessary. Depends.
New Zealand, there is a minimum. There is a minimum. That
minimum of 6 series.
Oh.
3 away, 3 home.
Terrible.
So
I think they need to change the threshold a little bit and make it a case
West Indies, New Zealand. These are the 2 away. Where else do they play?
Okay, so then let's
That's
get
the
back,
inspection.
to action at Centurion. Is that
That's Mr. Rifle.
Mr. Rifle?
That's Pistol. Yep.
So you have rifle and pistol. Very good.
No, that's his name. His
What
nickname.
next then? Shotgun.
You need Shatrughan Sinha for that.
underway.
Yep.
Let's see then.
Okay.
The good thing is you don't see any umbrellas at the moment. You don't see any sign of
In
covers.
fact, you can see R. Ashwin there warming up. He's got his shades on. So even I think apparently Vernon Philander's on the live broadcast, and he too was on the broadcast with his shades on. So
I think the
there you go.
inspection.
Toss at 145. Player started 2.
The inspection's pretty much done. I think a quick word there from the 2 umpires with Rohit Sharma, and the message been sent. 15 minutes.
13 minutes.
13
minutes, and
yes.
you'll have the toss happen. So half an hour being lost. You're looking at play to start at 1:30. You're looking at play to start at 2.
Yep.
But that means they'll have a shortened lunch or something, right? Or an extended final day. Extended
final session.
Could
That is
be
the thing.
both. Maybe 40 can come down to 30 as a trimmed lunch session, and then of course.
Anyway, this is a good warm up for you guys because Cape Town begins at 2. Cape Town, because Cape Town is half an hour behind.
He says you guys because he's not going to be around.
I'm not going to be around. These guys took their vacations. Then New Year time, I'm not here. So that's the situation we have. So it's cloudy, and why do people still wear glares? Is it because in the ground you get a glare?
Yeah,
or
it's quite
something?
possible because if you're looking at some of the shades that they're wearing, they don't look like sun ones. They're very bright, so I think it's potentially to ensure that you're
Okay.
So then,
Prasidh
Krishna
is making his debut.
Yes, so that tells you the
Mukesh Kumar.
The Mukesh Prasidh conundrum that we were looking at. So news coming in from the centre at the moment. Prasidh Krishna is set to make his test debut. Not surprised, we heard at the dugout yesterday. did talk about how Prasidh is
My
more
prediction
suited.
went wrong.
So Siddharth was of the opinion, maybe because you've seen Mukesh been given that rope. You saw him make his debut across formats in West Indies 5 months back. And truth be told, yes, ever since the IPL happened, he was picked by the Delhi Capitals.
Yes.
He's been around with the Indian team far more than Prasidh, who has had an injury-stricken last 12-14 months.
Correct.
But now that his back has shaped up well, remember he was one of the backups as well for the ODI World Cup, and now Prasidh Krishna making his test debut at Centurion.
And you couldn't argue for that, because in the warm-up game, the India versus South Africa warm-up game that happened at the LC de Villiers Oval, he took 5 wickets, including a hat-trick. So that's why, yes, I think you would have had to start with, there was a toss-up. I think if either Mukesh or Prasidh would have started, there would have been no problem about it.
Yeah,
because
actually. But I think Prasidh,
hit the deck.
Yes, exactly. Because he's someone who's solely dependent on one thing and one thing only. He'll be a first change bowler.
Yes.
Someone who will look to hit the deck, hit the hard lens, and potentially trouble them with some bounce. That's the only reason I think you'd have gone for him.
And the Indian vice captain Jasprit Bumrah handed him the cap. So a big situation. I think we can update the headline also, that if you can help him, if somebody can be helped. You have done it? Okay. So Prasidh Krishna will make his debut. That's one thing sorted out. So out of the 10 places are done now. You're going to start with Rohit, Yashasvi, Shubman, Virat, Shreyas, KL. Then I come to Shardul, Prasidh, Bumrah, Siraj.
Ravindra Jadeja.
Now,
Make a note.
Jaddu Ashwin.
Ashwin has to be
it's a
Jadeja.
done thing as well. You know your 11 now.
Yeah,
So
actually.
it is
Yeah.
Ashwin starting.
No, Jadeja started.
Jadeja started.
Jadeja starting.
If you're playing one spinner, then it
Yeah.
always is Jadeja and overseas
The
conditions.
opposition may not field a single spinner. So that tells you the story.
Because Ashwin in last 2 tours to South Africa started. It's not been Jadeja.
Yes, but
Jadeja,
then he started, but then if I recall correctly, the next 2 tests after that, Jadeja was playing last year, if I remember correctly. He played 1 test, and I think
I think it's reverse. I think Ashwin played 2.
okay.
I think Jaddu, I don't think he played in that series.
Because I remember it was after
he was injured, I think.
Yeah, but as soon as he came back from injury, he was there. So I think that tells you, I think with this Indian team, if they have to pick one finger spinner overseas, more often than not, it's Jadeja who wins out.
And okay, see, looking at it, maybe South Africa have about 3 left-handers in the side. Elgar is one of them. If Tony De Zorzi starts,
Which seems likely.
then he's also a left-hander. Okay. Then you got a Rabada. That's there.
But we're not counting Rabada as a pure
Yeah.
hitter.
Then Keegan, if he starts, he's a right-hander. Babuma, if he starts, he's a right-hander. Markram's a right-hander. But he's also got a good record against right-handers also. So, it's going to be a big thing. I think you guys are right. I think Jadeja will start in this game, and also because
There you go.
and he did have a big warm-up session on the 24th. 25th, remember, I think they might have had a look at the conditions, figured out that, okay, maybe it's better to go with Prasidh rather than Mukesh, because overcast conditions also remaining. So,
See, again, South Africa, and this time around, I don't think there's going to be as big a debate as there was in the WTC final, where it was a blunder on India's side, where they could have actually played 2 spinners given the surface that was on offer. Not today.
Yeah.
Not today. Stats tell you the story. Again, it's a graveyard for spinners, and it's not just Indian spinners. Spinners overall have struggled to get wickets in South Africa. Just 16 wickets, as I said, over the last couple of years. The average also tells you the story quite a bit. So again, doesn't make sense. And just the right choice, because again, Jadeja the better batsman.
I mean, look at it this way. If you're looking at the squads, India have 2 spinners. South Africa have 1. Keshav Maharaj. That's it. That's the extent of it. So there is every chance that they may not actually start with the spinner in this
if
test.
Pollock says don't play Keshav Maharaj, who's been in good form.
Yeah, but if there's nothing on offer as a finger spinner in Test cricket, you really are conditions dependent.
Yeah, and
So-
we won't be surprising
It
then.
really won't be surprising. India don't have Kuldeep in this lineup, in the squad. Very surprised. Of course, South Africa though. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have loved to see him there purely as a spinner. But again, these 2, if you're picking, it has to be Jadeja.
wouldn't have started even.
No, he wouldn't have started. You're right.
Yeah.
You can't take. There's no point taking 3 spinners to South Africa
You're playing 3 spinners only in the subcontinent.
Yeah.
You're not playing them anywhere else.
and
in the
keeping
same
4
other
in your
countries.
squad.
Yeah.
Because Akshar also comes in there, subcontinent.
I know. Aksar. Remember, you're going to see all of them in January, March.
Oh yeah, for sure. That these I was really excited. You're talking about Test cricket excitement. 7 matches I'm looking forward to. 2 against South Africa and then the 5 Test series against England. Baseball England. That should be real fun to watch.
Although we don't know whether they can employ that baseball condition.
You know for a fact they're going to try. Whether or not they can do it, they're 100% going for it. Which is why it's kind of like you're seeing a train crash happen. You want to look away, you want to also see. That's what it's going to be.
McCallum's already called it. He said that, okay, we live by the sword, we die by it, and there's certain things we've tried. We're going to try it again. And if there's learnings over there for us, we'll take that. But we're used to playing a certain brand of cricket and we're not going to shy away from doing the same.
And also, you have to look at it this way. Why I think it might not be the worst idea if you're going to go that way. Indian pitches by default nowadays are lotteries anyway. So on a lottery pitch, if you're playing a lottery style of play, on some days it might work. On some days it won't work.
England could very well fold up for 100, but they can also make 500.
Not 500, I doubt. But if they get to even say a 250, 300, 350, Indian conditions, the way the pitch is turned.
You got 5 spinners, right? England has got 5 spinners.
Yeah, England have 5 spinners if I'm not mistaken, including a couple of them who are uncapped.
Yeah, exactly.
So they know exactly what they're getting. And don't forget, 5 spinners includes, it's including Joe Root.
It's not including Joe Root.
It's not including Joe Root, exactly. And don't forget, he's more than handy. Lest we forget that one test where I think Akshar Patel, it was the pink ball test in Ahmedabad. Who was the pick of the bowlers for England? Joe Root. Simple, basic stuff.
5 for 8.
Exactly.
And 11 for 80. I think it was Akshar Patel. So wait, I'll just tell you where are the venues. The first test is going to happen at Uppal, Hyderabad. Okay.
Already a slow deck.
Second trek is in Vizag. Yes.
Second is Vizag.
That's also a slow deck. Wait.
Last I think is in Bangalore.
No. I think one is in Dharamshala if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, let's see.
The third test is in Rajkot. Okay. Well done. 3-0 loading there for India at this point. The fourth test is Ranchi.
And it doesn't matter where they're playing. They could be playing India could be playing a home test on the moon, and you bet the deck will be turning.
Fifth test is in Dharamshala.
Fifth is Dharamshala.
It doesn't matter where they're playing. They're going to make spinning tracks.
I know.
I mean, if
this Dharamshala, maybe they won't be able to change the nature of the pitch there.
Oh no, they can. They
They'll change it anywhere. Yeah, they changed. I mean, places like Bangalore become slow low. Ahmedabad becomes slow low. So
Indore was a flat pancake.
There's one deck here in the country which is genuinely, which offers something for the pacers. Please let it be the way it is.
Which is Dharamshala.
Yeah.
Dharamshala they will alter 100%. Now with WTC you have to. That's their. See, Rohit Sharma is coming
for the first time as the captain of the Indian cricket team in South Africa. Rohit Sharma is coming out.
Behind him, somebody Siddharth knows very well.
Very well, and who's got a doppelganger here in office. Indeed, he's a true doppelganger. I'm telling you. So, absolutely. And in that sense, Rohit Sharma. Wow, I mean, I can't believe it. 11 years of playing test match cricket, Rohit Sharma captains for the first time in South Africa.
Not that surprising considering I think, in the last cycle, India played South Africa, but he wasn't the captain then. He became captain midway through the cycle, really. Yeah. So after that, and I mean, I would have loved if this was a 3-test series. You're not getting.
Why did you have to even play the ODIs? You would have played 5 T20Is and 3 tests.
Or even play 3 T20Is. Remove the ODI series altogether. Play 3 tests. At least 3 tests, 2 test series.
You would have done 1 test in Centurion, but then I think you'd have to play either 1 test in Port Elizabeth from 18 to 22, 1 test in Centurion 26 to 30, and Newlands 3 to 7. It was done, sorted. But no.
ODIs for whatever reason. The only thing I enjoyed about the ODI series was Rinku Singh taking a wicket. Yeah. That's the only thing. And that just shows you how seriously they were taking this series, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen Rinku bowl.
Although KL won the series, it was redemption for him because he had lost 3-0 in 2022. 3-0, Now he won 2-1 here. So that's why redemption for him, and he's going to keep also with no Ishan Kishan, and
he just comes back into the mix.
Of course he does. He was always going to come back into the mix. I remember doing videos on it before and saying he wanted to do it. So step 1 is next. Now the real thing will be, is he going to do it for Lucknow Super Giants also?
By the way, him playing in the middle or something, I'm looking forward to. Because see, at the end of it, it's going to get very interesting anyway as far as T20 World Cup selection goes. And let's just see if KL Rahul can make some headlines.
And you got Themba Babuma coming out and captaining South Africa.
They were just showing some stats. Since 2018, 6 tests been played at this venue. 5 times the captain has won the toss and opted to bat
first.
So I think you're going with conventional.
Because see, 2014, I remember Australia chose to bat. It was a pitch which was absolutely horrendous. But they didn't take into account of Mitchell Johnson, who absolutely terrorized them. It was like somebody was saying, you got a missile launcher on top of a rocket propelled grenade. And that too, you got a bazooka which just zoomed in. That's how dangerous he was. I remember it was Robin Peterson. In order to avoid the bouncer, he jumped way outside off, so it went past him.
Yeah, that 14-15 was Johnson at his
13-14,
13-14 at his terrific best. He was, you couldn't take your eyes off him, but you were also scared every time you watched him bowl because he's taking someone's head off.
8 matches, 59 wickets, and he made the bouncer look
so easy,
life-threatening. I mean, I remember one guy, Ryan McLaren, if I'm not mistaken, such a brutal blow on the side. He didn't play the entire season, and I think he didn't recover his confidence after that.
Yeah, I remember Ryan McLaren. I think he played for Mumbai Indians once in the IPL.
And one brute to Faf. Around middle stump, just glove straight to the slip. So that's why that was the Australian team that was there, and let's see what happens. I think you should bat first. South Africa batted first in 2017. India batted first in 2021. I think the only team that didn't bat here was Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken. No, Sri Lanka played in Durban and Port Elizabeth, in Aberha.
Anyway, it barely happens now that more often than not you'll see these guys look to bat. So I think whoever wins the toss is 100% batting first.
Yep, Temba with, there's Pumalelo Mbangwa.
Why would you do that to poor Temba?
I know.
Put him next to Pommy of all people.
And I think there's also Ravi. So poor. Okay. I mean, imagine him celebrating with Marco Jansen. I mean,
we've seen it happen in the World Cup. He was talking to him.
I know. So Jansen, Ngidi, Rabada and Katsia. I think that will be my pace bowling lineup. But who will be the fifth one? I don't know. That's the thing.
I think they count Jansen as an all-rounder, so they might actually make space for another
pacer. Vian Mulder. Ooh.
Mulder, because again, something with the
if they need a spin option, Markram can roll his arm over a bit.
Whatever it is, over rates are going to go for a toss.
Okay, let's see then. The toss.
And Temba's won the toss.
South Africa.
And I think he may want. Oh wait. No.
A bit of confusion there.
Okay, so Temba might opt to bat.
He's 100% opted to bat. There's no way he's done everything else.
I think I have gotten the team also. Okay. Oh, Mr. Jadeja complained of back spasms. Not available. So Ash comes in. No, they've chosen to bowl. South Africa have chosen to bowl.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big news.
I think I know why. Cloud cover.
Could this is South Africa's brain fade oval moment.
If you've chosen to bowl at a venue where conventional wisdom and recent history suggests bat first, either you're going to be hailing Temba as a genius or as an idiot, one way or the other. This is Pat Cummins at the World Cup final all over again.
Yeah.
You can only say in hindsight, good decision, bad decision. Because if it is going to be seaming around, which let's be fair is entirely a possibility, you're lauding this as a genius move. But if it's kind of eases out and India only lose maybe a couple of wickets, then you're going to be saying bad decision. So again, this is something you can only wait and watch, I think. I understand why he's done it because of course
cloud cover.
Anyway, remember
they're trying to psych here India.
South Africa in 2010 chose to bowl similar conditions. And India were bundled over 136.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With I think Dale Steyn took 5 wickets and Morkel took 4. Morne Morkel, if I'm not mistaken. So, okay, so the one other major news, South Africa have chosen to bowl, I think for the first time since 2010. But no Ravindra Jadeja.
I just wonder what this whole conversation is. It should have been done by now. What is Temba talking over there?
Also, by the way, there's no lungi, so you might very well see, if they're going to go with no spinner.
Kudzi then.
No, Katsia
was always going to be there, I think.
Rabada, Katsia and Jansen.
There's Jansen.
Then you might see a Mulder, definitely.
Oh no, 2 debutants. Nandre Berger and David
Nandre Berger.
You're right. Nandre Berger made his debut today.
By the way, betting game, interesting story. He was one of those players who went Kolpak. Now, of course, he's back because ever since Brexit, Kolpaks pretty much don't exist.
Yeah, so that's why.
They're playing 4 seamers. That means Maharaj is there.
Maharaj has to be there. Batting option also, na?
And test can be a handy option.
So you got batting until number 9 if you have to look at it.
Rabada.
Rabada or number 10. Even Katsia can be a good bat.
Yeah, Katse
He can be a good bet.
So Jansen, Maharaj, Katsia, Rabada. With I don't know. I have not seen much of Bendingham, so I have no idea about what.
The only thing I know about him is that he's a recently returned Kolpak.
Kolpak, yeah.
So
Oh, but now there is no Jaddu. Ash starts somewhere. Shashwat is really partying today on Boxing Day. He was I think he must have done some Jadoo tone or something, get back spasms and all these kind of things. Ash plays.
So Ash plays, but of course, if they're mentioning that Jadeja complained of back spasms, then it hints that he was going to be the first choice.
Yeah.
So no Jadeja for the entire series because a back spasm
can get you. Remember what happened to Shreyas?
a week.
Yeah.
It takes you a week, and even for Kohli was last moment until Newlands. But then it took him 7 to 8 days, and same. I think Ash starts and Jadeja doesn't get to play for another decade. Because see, the last time he played wasn't a decade ago. He picked up 6 wickets in Durban. But then Ash has always been your consistent starter here. So
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I think, suddenly I recollect what happened because one of the support staff came out and told Rohit that no, I think you can't.
But Jadeja was bowling. Again, these are deferred visuals then.
Yeah.
I think that what happened last 5 minutes, KL, what happened in the Asia Cup, was that the case? KL was suddenly asked to play because Shreyas developed a back spasm.
Quite possible. Could have been a very last minute thing.
When KL didn't even have his kit.
Yes.
So that's your playing 11 confirmed. Rohit Sharma,
And look,
Yashasvi Jaiswal.
just to
opening.
add insult to injury, look at it. I definitely am partying. I got a message from you know who. Yeah. So, okay.
So Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, those are your openers. Shubman Gill at 3, Virat Kohli at 4, obviously Shreyas Iyer at 5, KL Rahul at 6, Ashwin 7, Shardul 8, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna. So really the only thing you got wrong pretty much was Ashwin for Jadeja, and that too because Jadeja was injured.
Although I did say in an ideal world, Ash should have played, but then I knew the team manager Jaddu was anyway going to play. So, okay. So, Yashasvi left-handed, right-handed, Rohit Sharma and Yashasvi Jaiswal. Jaiswal had a great start to his test career with 171 against the West Indies. You got Shubman Gill at number 3. Remember, even Shubman Gill, after the flood and deluge of runs in at the start of 2023.
It's been a barren run.
It's been a barren run for him. It's like an oasis and a desert. And King Kohli returns.
Of course.
After
big tour, by the way, for someone like a Shreyas Iyer.
Yes.
Because a lot of the runs which he's gotten in Test cricket, good runs, have mostly come at home and or the subcontinent area. So I think this would be a very interesting test for him. Bouncy conditions.
Yep. And you've got a KL Rahul who's going to be your keeper. First time he'll be keeping full time in a
red ball game. And not just that, bit of a redemption story for him. I don't think he's played a test since Bangladesh.
Yes. No, he didn't play 2 tests in the BGT.
Did he? No.
No. The 2 tests.
Instead of Shreyas.
Yeah, didn't he play in Nagpur and Delhi, and then after that he...
Right. Yeah, but you're right, because Shreyas wasn't available at that point. Yes.
Shreyas, I think, joined the squad here in Delhi.
Played Delhi, then in Ahmedabad started complaining of...
he played Indore.
Yeah.
So that's the situation now. And let's have a look at a South African lineup. Dean Elgar is there, Aidan Markram, Tony De Zorzi, Temba Bavuma, Keegan Peterson, David Bedingham, Kyle Verreynne. Remember, Verreynne has been a very solid keeper for South Africa in that sense. And then you got Jansen, Katsia, Rabada, Nandreberger. Wait, so there is no Maharaj.
Exactly. So that means I think they'll rely on some overs from one of their...
Aidan Markram.
Markram will be their spinner.
Yeah.
Because see, right after Bedingham bats...
Even Elgar can roll his arm over.
Elgar's a left armer. Yeah. So they're only playing 4 pacers. What a heavy workload here for all of them.
Exactly.
But remember, about 90% of this squad of South Africa will not be travelling to New Zealand.
Because the SA20 will be taking place.
Talk about priorities. Really talk about priorities in that sense. So, whoa, that is a bit of a chaotic, you may say.
But see, Sean Pollock was right. They're not going to go with the spinner.
Yeah.
No full-time spinner.
So was he right about Lungisani and ED, who also doesn't make it to the 11?
Yeah.
Think they're preserving him for the second test match.
They were saying also, I think it was Temba Usaru, he's not yet fully up to full fitness. So there's no way then he's going to be playing this match.
Anyhow, we've been going on for a while because we see the players coming out of bat.
Let's take a couple of
quickly. See what are your thoughts at the moment?
And you can see the anticipation is pretty high for this particular.
Exactly.
Let's see. No, Sanket, you didn't hear Jude Bellingham, although that was my first thought as well when I read Bellingham.
Yeah, it's
That was what I thought as
Bellingham.
well.
Yeah. Naman Kanpal is saying, I think it's a very good team, all wicket takers and pretty good pedigree batsmen.
Good contest, he feels, if India plays to their potential.
And the sun is out in Centurion. Tirupati Dimri saying Mulder, but Mulder's not there. That's the thing.
I think maybe that's what she means, he or she, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Means that potentially could have been there, but I think they wanted to go with the Katse.
You had to start with Katse. Hit the deck, austerity, pace. Janssen also with that height factor, Rabada, out and out pace bowler. So that's why, fine. I think you got the right bowlers for the country, but it's going to be a very heavy workload on all of them.
And also, Saraj Chandra points out something, and this is going to be very interesting. If the pitch plays true to how it does, fourth innings, South Africa are going to have to bat. And fourth innings here is a disaster class.
I think, it will be hailed as a masterstroke in 2010 or it could be foolish like 2021.
Exactly.
Yeah.
India batted in these similar kind of conditions and KL Rahul got a century in Centurion in 2021. And remember, you've got, forget Bumrah. Bumrah is class apart. The other most potent bowler in South Africa, Shardul Thakur.
Shardul, yeah.
Shardul got 11 wicket haul in Johannesburg. 7 and 4.
Man, it's the biggest mystery how he's such a good wicket taker, but he just is.
No, in test matches, he's next level. Shardul Thakur.
I remember he got rid of Smith, remember in the WTC?
And Warner.
Cleaned
And
him up.
Warner.
No, he didn't clean him up.
Yeah, Smith was cleaned up.
It was an inside edge.
He just bowled such a innocuous delivery outside. Smith hung his bat out to try tuck inside edge.
Bold is a bold.
Bold is a bold.
Bold is a bold. You may say maybe Scott Boland cleaning up Shikhar Bharat.
Oh, that was that nasty.
That is
swinger.
cleaned up. That is
Do
cleaned
we have
up.
any supers?
Or Cheteshwar Pujara letting the ball come. Okay, please.
Scroll slightly up then. Once Jen makes a good point saying that if Iyer doesn't play well, you could see a bit of trouble. Because again, I think with KL also, don't forget, playing a new role. So I think Iyer is going to be a lot of, let's say, focus on him. As I had mentioned also before, definitely going to be very bouncy. No limit on the number of bounces you can bowl. It's just cricket.
Piyush, his namesake is making his debut. Nandre Berger and Piyush Nandre is here. Ganguly said he removed Kohli as test captain because they want same captain for all three formats. And in this tour, we have three captains for three formats.
No, what is wrong over there? Leaving test captaincy was Kohli's choice, and yes, he was removed from ODI because he decided T20 I'm not going to be taking up anymore. That's where Ganguly said, no, we want the same in white ball format. Simple
Which is
as that. Test, nobody was expecting, he then just made
But then here you had three captains for three different formats. Surya in T20 is, Rahul in ODI, now Rohit. But see, he did not remove Kohli as a test captain, Piyush.
Test captain, that was Kohli's call.
Test and T20 both were Virat Kohli's choices. He said ahead of the IPL is going to be my this thing. Then he said, okay, World Cup, I'm now, just wrapping things up here. So
see, the problem is, Piyush, what happened was you were expected to win in South Africa with that team. But then you lost 2-1, and remember, it wasn't the batters who let you down to a certain extent. It was your bowlers. Couldn't defend 250 and 212 in the fourth innings.
In the fourth innings in South Africa.
So I've got a message from our dear friend, and that message says
that dear friend messaged me also.
that the right things fall in place some way or the other.
I mean, if that were the case, then no, but okay.
I mean, he's like trying to be like the book of
He
Job.
was so hurt yesterday and offended by the fact that we weren't having Ashwin and because
that's what logic history suggests.
Yeah,
everything seems to be falling in place for him. He had spoken about the pitches. He was proven right. Now he's spoken about Ashwin. He's proven right here also because, okay, by providence it happened.
Then he should have spoken so much more about the India World Cup win then.
That's why he may be thinking he's God. Apunish Bhagwan hai. Sanket Joshi, are you going to cover World Rapid and Bliss Championship? Sanket, if I was there, I wouldn't be here, my friend. That's in Samarkand, which is beginning from 26th to 30th. I am not there, but yes, it's a very important tournament for D. Gukesh. If he wins, if he gets to the podium there and ensures Anish Giri doesn't reach the podium, you're going to see your third Indian in the candidates.
Also, Piyush trying to be a bit naughty over there, saying that South Africa should be thankful that Netherlands don't play the World Test Championship.
Good one.
Good one. But again, South Africa just don't want to bat first. It started from the World Cup, remember? They just don't want to bat first.
Actually, it was the other way around.
Yeah,
in the World Cup, they couldn't chase.
They couldn't chase.
They didn't want to chase. Yeah.
What is it with these particular trends that they have started? They wouldn't want to chase.
Here, I think it's a clear case of making most of the conditions and doing to India what India tried to do to others, but doesn't happen.
Okay, so 1, 2,
Do we have
3.
any other things? Sanket being very funny, saying that home test on moon means the deck will turn because there's craters over there. That's only speculative.
Yeah, Otto is saying, wait, there was a question directed to me. Does Nandre Burger remind you of Nathan Bracken?
Not at all.
No, for the bowling action.
No. It's a little more smoother. Bracken was very stop.
Side on and also, okay. At the start, he had a bit of pace, 135-ish, but I think he had a much more shoulder-heavy action. This guy seems to be totally wrist-wise, Nandre Burger, if I have to look at it. So, that's the situation. Remember Jacques Rudolph in that old era, good bat, in terms of old SA experience, Darshan PD, yes.
Good one, Darshan.
Yeah.
Rudolph used to be there in that game as well, if you remember, the EA Sports game that you used to have.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Rudolph used to be there.
Yeah. Akash Bharadwaj, and then we'll take it. Oh yeah, Tripti Dimri saying Steve Smith's downfall started. Well, if you look at it, Steve Smith, he had a century in the WTC. He had a century at Lords against the Ashes. Yet they are saying it's his downfall. That's the high standard.
That's the standards he set for himself. It's not
because he's gone very cheaply even this also. And in slightly overcast condition on a very sticky wicket, I think Australia kind of are about to dibbly-dobbly kind of a situation for them. But yeah, Dex, he's more like Brett Schultz if I have to look at it. Yes, Schultz also a very tall, you may say muscular fast bowler, and boy was he scary, he and Alan Donald. But yeah, now Brett Schultz is an investment banker, my friend. So Ashwin has 12 wickets in 10 innings and Jadeja has 6 wickets in one match in Test in South Africa. Sagar Bhosle.
Exactly,
You're
Sagar.
right.
That is why I think you were also looking at playing a Jadeja and why he was the first choice. But I mean, you can't really say anything about that now. Back spasms have ruled him out. Although I do agree with the point that Akash Bharadwaj is saying that you see Ashwin batting up now. 7 is technically not his number. He doesn't really bat at 7. I think he's going to have to.
How will you bat him up the order?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No.
And
up the order,
down?
technically, he would have been batting if he plays like in home test, he's normally at 8. So
and he's gotten 100 there also.
Exactly, but number 7 is a little high for him. But I think you either have to take that risk.
Shardul 7, Ashwin 8.
Maybe you might just do that.
They could. I mean, it's not cast in stone as
Exactly.
such that. See, Iyer and Rahul also maybe 5, 6.
No, I think Iyer
Iyer
has to play 5.
Yeah.
And with 6, remember, 6 is logically your only slot open, and that's why I think it'll be interesting for KL because don't forget he may be keeping well in this that. But the spectre of who is hanging over him, it just so happens to be Rishabh Pant.
I know.
Your biggest match winner in Sena conditions.
If KL has to nail his place down in the Indian cricket test team, he has to keep and bat well.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
he has to be outstanding.
Otherwys, Rishabh Pant is a
No,
straight
well. Gritty 50, no one will care about.
100.
You need to be you need to be like Pant. You need that counter-attacking. Where are you going to get that counter-attacking from?
KL Rahul counter-attacking. That's a bit iffy. So that's why, see, as
I think him.
But if KL can bat in the middle order for India and T20 eyes, who knows?
Yep. And here we have it. Kagiso Rabada. 3 slips in place and gem of a delivery. Angling across and then straightening outside off.
Yeah, didn't really get much to move to start. But of course, that is something I think they'll go over in due course. So the match has gotten underway. We'll take a leave for now. Been on a while thanks to this
rain delay.
Yeah, I hope the rain stays away now.
Yep, but it's sunny. It's starting to become sunny at this point. But today and tomorrow there are rain chances. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Okay. So from me, Shade and Harshit, it's bye bye. We'll be back for the lunch break.